All right, Wayne State football falls to Tiffin in the 2025 season opener. We're joined by head coach Tyrone Wheatley. Coach, just some opening thoughts from the game.
Well, first game jitters. Wish you could avoid those, but first game jitters. Coming out in the first half, quarterback play was, I would say deer in headlights. We missed some throws. We failed to get the ball moving and put our defense in the bind. You can't leave the rubber on the road too long, else you lose your tread. Our defense got tired in the second half, and because they stayed on the field a lot. But we also started moving the ball a little bit. Champ came back and threw a nice touchdown pass, but just wasn't enough to sustain that drive on offense and moving the ball on third down. And I think when I get a chance to look at it, we'll see what our third down conversion rate was, but it wasn't where we needed to be, of course, because we didn't get a chance to keep drives moving.
Yeah, you mentioned Champion Edwards. He rushed for 34, threw for 48, had the passing touchdown. What did you see from number 17? And you mentioned the postgame he was going to be the starter after this. What did you see from Champ?
Well, just one of the things where I think he pressed a little bit in camp. And, I know a lot of people were saying, well, why he didn't start the game. That Champ you saw tonight was not the champ in camp, right? Siri looked like the guy, and Cox kind of did the same thing. But at the end of the day, I guess he had a chance to calm himself down, ease himself into the game, and really just slow the game down and play really well. So, he'll be the guy moving forward.
Drew Hickmott, redshirt freshman, 4 targets, 3 catches, had a touchdown catch, first of his career. What did you see from Hickmott? Big
body guy, great practice player. Just has a great feel for the game, and he's a great pickup for us. And that Champ and Hickmott connection. Hope to see that a lot more this coming season. But he runs precise routes. Like I say, he's a good football player.
Last one before we hand it over to Precious. Devon Bentley, a guy you brought in this season, carried it 13 times, averaged almost 4 yards a pop. That's pretty decent for a running back. What'd you see from Devon?
That was a man's 4 yards now. Devon is electric. He is, he's what you want to back. He's hard. He picks up those yards. He pick up hidden yardage. The yards after contact. The one great thing about Devon is he hits his landmarks in his course, and he makes his offensive line right. There were some times he squirted through there, and we thought he was down, and then all of a sudden, whoop, he's back up, and he's the old school adage, twist, turn, lunge, or plunge, but never let your legs stop moving. And my coach. My high school coach would be proud of me using that one because that was his favorite saying.
Precious, go ahead.
All right. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well.
Good. 2 questions for you. The first question is, what adjustments did you and your staff make at halftime to get things going in the second half?
Well, the one I think we talked about, the big one was the big adjustment was, Champ. And I guess people can all, ask, well, where was he? Why we didn't start him in the beginning? Well, like I said before, Champ didn't have the best preseason camp. And so, therefore, the Champ that you saw tonight was not the Champ that we saw later. But, however, when the 2 quarterbacks are kind of struggling, you have to give this guy a chance. And we talked to him, and he was able to, converse to me on the sideline that, Coach, I see it, I understand what's going on. And so we went with him. That was the first adjustment. The second adjustment was really just getting the proper plays in. And what I mean by that is the plays that match Champ. What does he do well? How does he do well? What does he feel? And just conversing with him and getting him to go back and forth and articulate what he sees and what he likes. And we was able to get that going.
Sweet. Sounds like you know your boys really well.
No?
Last question. So we saw number 14 go down. Is there any status with him? How is he doing?
14. What are you talking about? 44?
44?
The linebacker?
Yes, sir. Excuse me. My apologies.
No. You're fine. Right now, I don't want to, due to injuries and things of that nature, he's going to the hospital. We'll find out more later tonight and tomorrow. But just for the sake of family and those types of things, I don't want to put nothing out there too soon. And me personally, I don't know exactly what's going on. So, but it was a pretty bad injury. It's sustained to the lower leg. So that's all I know right now.
Thank you, Coach. No further questions.
That's it for us, Coach. Thanks for the time.
No, thank you.